Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching us today. My name is Rich Tehrani, and on our program is Melissa Schmitt. She is the USA Marketing Director for truphone. Hey, Melissa, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Likewise, thanks for being here.
Sure.
I thought it would be good to allow you, I've used your company's services in the past,
Yep.
but I don't want to steal your thunder. Can you tell us about truphone, please?
Sure, no, absolutely. I specifically support truphone here in the United States. I'm the marketing director, and we just recently launched a new product called truphone Local Anywhere, which is a SIM-based product that allows customers to put multiple phone numbers on one SIM that they can use worldwide. It is a unique product. We're very excited about it because it is very new to the United States marketplace, and we think it's a product that customers would really like. We've done a lot of market research and talked to customers that travel internationally a lot, and the feedback that we get overwhelmingly is, I've traveled abroad, I've come home, I've had these huge roaming fees and bills from my international travel. I didn't know that I was roaming. I didn't know that I had data charges that were over and above what I was expecting. And so our product is a result of us being able to deliver a product to our customers that will overcome some of those challenges of worldwide roaming.
So it sounds to me like that's a tremendous opportunity because international roaming is an area of outrageous profits for carriers, right?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And the carriers really don't want people to understand what is really happening behind the scenes. The bottom line is, in the United States, we have challenges of what we call unlocked phones, where most consumers don't know that their phone is locked, which really means you have an agreement with the carrier. They don't know what a SIM is. Most people don't have any idea what a SIM does or what its purpose is. They don't know how it works, and so the challenge we have in the States isn't necessarily creating something to overcome roaming fees, but it's educating people on the process of getting the right phone, how to insert a SIM, how to actually go online and top up your account, and to build that relationship with customers. Ultimately, what we would like is a global customer that will take our service and utilize us for life as their one SIM, one phone.
Now, in terms of your target audience, are there certain kinds of industries that this makes more sense, or is it really just for anyone who's traveling a lot internationally that needs to be able to save money and have the flexibility of making
Sure.
calls quickly?
Yeah, we've identified several key segments. The business traveler, the leisure traveler, the person that works in the travel industry, like a flight attendant, pilot, the expats, the people that have multiple households or houses worldwide, and then students. And through our focus groups that we've done, what we found is that we really have small groups within those segments that we need to focus on. For instance, the business traveler, in many cases, he has a large corporation behind him that is making IT decisions, and he's not very influential in going to them to say, I think we should switch to truphone. But when you have a small business owner that maybe has 20 employees, that does have a need to travel worldwide, that does look at his bottom line with his bills and his expenses each month, he is exactly the guy we want. An example might be that I use a lot is, I don't know that Madonna is ever going to take our service, but I think Madonna's hairdresser and her people that clothe her and her designers and the people that travel with her that have to travel globally with her are exactly the customers that we want, because they're making the phone calls on their dime, but they're having to have an international lifestyle. So it's digging into each of these segments to actually find within that who is the right customer, because we don't want volumes of customers, we want quality customers.
So basically you have a lot of segments of potential customers, but pop stars who were really popular in the 80s may or may not be involved in that segment of
Yeah,
your life.
you don't.
just double checking.
No, it's actually we actually have Eminem using our product overseas right now.
So if Eminem's going to use it, maybe
Madonna would use it.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, but I guess the gist of it is we need to get to the decision maker, and
Sure.
sometimes it's somebody that actually is really a person that has an international lifestyle without that choice.
It seems like a no-brainer for me to obviously you're going to save money, and you don't have to worry about chasing SIM cards down. The last time I traveled internationally, I was looking for a SIM card, and it took me 3 days or 2 days to get a SIM
Yeah.
card. I just the airport, for whatever reason, it was closed, or
Yeah.
the vendor wasn't there, whatever it was, they were on break, and I just couldn't get to a store that had one. I had to find a store that
Right,
had one
right.
and then get to the store. So it really is you're saving as much hassle as you are anything else.
Well, our main message is less about price, although we are a cheaper alternative. But our main message is convenience.
Of course.
That you have
Sure.
one phone that you don't have to worry about worldwide. You have multiple phone numbers on it. And many of the people that I speak with when I travel and I meet in airports, or I do meet in focus groups, they will say, well, I have my travel phone and I have my iPhone. Or I have a couple different phones that are
Sure.
cheap phones that I take when I travel to XYZ countries. And then I have my phone here. And that usually is a pain point for people, in that they have to carry so many different phones.
Sure.
You have to transfer all your numbers. You have to
Of course.
remember which country and which phone.
And for those people trying to communicate with them, I've had challenges where I don't know where to SMS people. I have no idea where to send them a text message. Which phone
Yeah.
are they using? So now I'm sending 4 text messages
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
try to figure out which device this person has, and which, because I don't always know everyone's itinerary in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. And I usually use the example of saying, if you remember back in the States, because I've been in telecom a long time, we started out as AT&T, then divestiture, and then there was long distance and local. And then it became more and more seamless as you traveled the country, that you could use your phone anywhere. You could have an area code anywhere. You could use it anywhere. You didn't worry about what your rate was, because you had these unlimited plans and things of that sort. And I see where we're going with truphone as becoming a global service that does the same thing,
Sure.
that diffuses these boundaries and these issues with having country-to-country issues.
Now, you mentioned locked phones, and in the U.S., our carriers are more oriented to selling us locked devices
They
and
are.
subsidizing them. And the question, of course, is how do you sell to customers that are used to buying locked phones? In other words, what's the process? A company comes to you, let's say it's a Fortune 5000 company, and they have 500 people that are traveling internationally, and they say, Melissa, we want to buy from you. We want to hook up these 500 international travelers with your service. What do they do from that point?
We actually source the phones from a B2B perspective. We actually source unlocked phones, provide them the SIM with the phone ready to go. You can source unlocked phones. It's just
Sure.
that most people don't know. You can go into
Sure.
any AT&T store tomorrow and actually buy an unlocked phone. Not an iPhone, but other phones. And you just have to actually get the code and have AT&T unlock it, and you can go use whatever service provider you want. So we've been sourcing unlocked phones for our B2B customers in our trials. We're also in a position where we are selling through some of our online channels right now, which are like where you're on continental.com and we see you're booking a trip, and we'll say, do you want to save money on roaming?
Right.
We will take you to a landing page that will allow you to buy a SIM only or a bundled SIM phone.
Okay.
And what we're doing to expand that is to give people a bigger portfolio of the phones they can select, that we will put the SIM in, deliver to them,
Sure.
and they have their phone. Because again, we have the challenges of
Sure.
of people here not being comfortable with what a SIM is and how to insert it
Sure.
in the card. So we'll do it for you.
So you mentioned that you can't work with the iPhones because, of course, they're locked unless you jailbreak your iPhone, which I think I've seen.
Very hard to do.
It's 5 to 15%, I think, of the iPhone. I'm trying to remember the stats I've seen on it. So small percentage are jailbreaking. But now that the Droid phones have become more and more popular, assuming that you can get some of these to be in an unlocked fashion.
Yes.
I think the Droid X has recently been released by Motorola. It's a great phone, and
It is.
in an unlocked version, it can work in, I guess, Sprint and also the Verizon network. So it's a pretty significant device in terms of being a good competition for the
It
Apple
is.
products.
It is. We actually have a pretty large portfolio of phones that we're looking at right now. Our number one goal is to choose what is the most desired phones for U.S. consumers. Because, working for a global company, an international company, the people that have expectations in London are different than the consumers in New York.
Sure.
And that's, we are really good partners between all the different countries within the company, but we all also realize the differences in our consumers.
Absolutely.
And we definitely need to treat them different, give them
Absolutely.
different choices,
Sure.
and even talk to them differently.
I've seen over the years one of the biggest challenges I've seen is companies that are based out of the UK, Germany, Japan, those countries in particular, if they don't focus on putting U.S. management to speak the right message to the
Exactly.
U.S. either small business customer or consumer, that they are really setting themselves up for failure because we have a different culture. Just as Americans are shocked when
Absolutely.
they go overseas to see that business practices are different, whether it's drinking at lunch or some of the other things
Yep,
that
yep,
people do.
yep.
It's just you have to get into the mind of the American consumer, and you know our fast food generation and our
Yeah.
highways and our SUVs, and you've got to embrace that with your marketing
Yeah,
message.
and I'm very fortunate. The leadership within truphone is fantastic. I mean, a bright group of people, and they realized early on that we can't control everything in London. We need people worldwide as we expand this product to be our eyes and ears of how we should communicate, what we should say, what channels we should be in, and how we should be servicing the customers around the world. Because to your point, we are all very different. I have seen people have beers at lunch over in London, and I've never seen that in the States, at least not where I go.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I remember I was on a tour of Ireland back in the early '90s where they were showing me business development. I was writing an article about just businesses relocating to Ireland, and
Ireland,
I
yeah.
remember just seeing just very young people, business professionals in the pub, just pounding big pints of Guinness,
Yeah.
and they were going right back to work after. And
Yeah.
I was, again, it's a different mentality than what happens in most of the U.S. I
Exactly.
should say.
Exactly.
Sure, in some of the U.S. it's like that.
I was my last trip to London was during the World Cup, and I didn't know they literally shut the offices down and went to the pubs to watch the soccer, and I just thought soccer, that's not even a popular sport, but you learn when you're there. That was a huge culture difference that I realized between the U.S. and the U.K.
And it's going to be extremely exciting to see you come, or you to continue to take the truphone message and to promote it to our 300 million or so population
Yeah.
of the U.S. And I wish you tremendous success. And to me, it seems like a no-brainer to want to minimize the complexities of international roaming and cell phone bills that are unpredictable.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we will look to you and some of the other partners we have in the United States to help us make that happen.
Well, thanks. And please come back and let us know your progress. You're invited
We
back
will.
anytime.
We will.
Okay?
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.